Woo! Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Obsolete Entity, and he is the group owner of Creatures of Havoc. Hey,
What's
Obsolete,
up?
how you doing today?
What's up, brother? I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad that we can do this. I know Giselle put me, your direction, and she also put me in Gut Muncher's direction, who I have on next week. So that's exciting.
Oh yeah, very exciting. Gutty, he's a really great character. He's
Awesome.
awesome, scary. You'll love him.
Awesome. So I guess let's start off with explain what Creatures of Havoc is and where can you find this group?
You can find the group Creatures of Havoc on Facebook by going to Creatures of Havoc and just hitting the like page. Uh, the group is basically a group of misfits, so to speak. We're anti-bullying. We're a non profit organization. We do charity work and stuff like that. And we just want everybody know that it's okay to be different.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's what makes this world so cool because I would think it would be so boring living in a world where everybody is the same exact person, you know?
Exactly. Exactly, brother.
Like that's
Exactly.
that's what I love. Like I love that people are different, whether it be religious beliefs or political background or skin color or sexual orientation,
Exactly.
everything that makes us unique makes us different and stand out from every other human on earth. And that's what makes us all different. And that's a unique world, and bringing everybody together and not we shouldn't be bullying. We should be treating everybody with respect.
Exactly. Exactly,
Yeah.
brother. You said it right.
So, what made you want to, I guess, using your own words, bring a bunch of misfits that are different into creating Creatures of Havoc?
Well, it all started when I seen a group of people on Facebook getting bullied,
Hmm.
and because of their different belief and background and stuff like that. And I wanted to create this group for the sole purpose to show people, hey, it don't matter, like you said, your sexual preference, your sexual orientation, your belief, your religion. You can still be a creature and and let everybody live in peace and harmony and just not judge those that are
Hmm.
different from everybody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said that any better myself. So, I guess, where did the name Creatures of Havoc come from then?
Me and Giselle, my wife, we was actually sitting around brainstorming, and you see a lot of clown organizations out there. You see a lot
Hmm.
of different names out there, and I was like, at the end of the day, we're all just creatures of habit. And we was thinking it was like she said havoc, and I was like creatures of havoc, and it just clicked. And I was like, I love the name. Instead of creatures of havoc, we're creatures of havoc because havoc means to wreak turmoil on something. But what we're trying to wreak turmoil on is bullying and stuff like that. So havoc can be a good thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so that's where the name actually originated from.
Awesome. I like that. I think that's very unique, very clever. I really think that's great. So anybody that wants to get away from bullying and wants to, try to put a stop to it and help put a stop to it, go
Yeah,
to Facebook, click that like page on Creatures of Havoc and join in this community because that's really, something that I stand for because I've been bullied, my whole life growing up. And
it's
I think that's something that a lot of people, want, just you want to stop that, because that's why people kill themselves and that's why suicide rates are up. That's why people are depressed
exactly.
because of this. And if we all join forces together and become creatures of havoc, we can put a stop to bullying. Um,
That's right.
So speaking of where the names come from, I have a personal one, and I asked Gore Filth, who I had on my show, I believe was it earlier this week or late last week, and I asked him the same question. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked him. Where did the name Obsolete Entity come from?
Obsolete. Me and my brother-in-law was actually talking, and I was trying to come up with this character for many months. Couldn't come up with a name, and we was literally talking about VHS tapes, and he says, "Yeah, they're pretty well obsolete now." And it hit me. I consider myself as obsolete because, as I got older and the years went by, sometimes you feel like you're not that important or you don't matter anymore. You're irrelevant to a situation. So I was like, hey, let's make obsolete something good. Let's make something that don't exist or is non-relevant anymore. Bring it back. And the entity come from, I didn't want to be considered just a clown or anything like that. I wanted to be an entity, just, a being
That
of
kind of
sort.
like Pennywise, like you associate him as a clown, but he's much more than just a clown.
Right, exactly. You're so right about that.
Awesome. I like that. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So, do you also do haunt acting?
I do. I've done home acting for 24 years now. Sadly, this year, due to family issues, we won't be able to haunt this year.
Okay.
But I did haunt acting 22 years in South Carolina for a trail called Haunted Forest, and then I did 2 years at a trail called Nightmare Hollow.
Nice. Nice. So what is it like being a haunt actor? And how did you get started into doing that?
I've always loved to scare people. Ever since I was a little kid, I would hide behind the doors, and as my mom would walk out, I'd jump out and do a jump scare on her. And it come from my love of scaring people and my love of horror movies. But how I got into the haunt business is I used to do pro wrestling, and I met an owner of a haunt trail, which was the Haunted Forest, and she wanted me to come and do a guest appearance at her trail. Well, her place of business, and I did it, and I fell in love with it, and I seen that you can get paid to scare people, and it ain't about the money for me. It's about the love of scaring people, and just doing. You don't have to be who you really are inside. You're another character.
Right.
You just have fun with it. You just get to jump out, and people don't expect it. And my little girl wants to say hello.
Hello.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
That was totally unexpected.
Not a problem. I've had cats. I've had kids of guests. I've had you name it. I had it on the show already.
Oh wow, sorry about it, but thank you.
No, you're fine.
Thank you. But that's where it came from. Is that's how I got into the haunt acting and my love for it, where it came from.
Nice. That's awesome. And you mentioned that you're a horror fan. So, like, what horror film or franchise got you into becoming a horror fan, and what's your current favorite like horror film or franchise?
I'm glad you asked that. Friday the 13th got me into horror. When I was a little kid, watching all the Friday the 13th movies or Halloween, but mainly it was Friday the 13th. My favorite horror movie of today would be Jigsaw. I love Jigsaw. He's kind of, to me, gory, but he's also got a purpose.
Yes.
So I love Saw. I'm a big Jigsaw fan.
Nice. And going back to haunt acting, when you scare somebody, did any of them like retaliate and try to attack you or hit you?
Quite a few times. I've been hit. I've been spit on. I've had somebody throw something at me.
Wow.
I've even had a woman throw her child in my lap so I couldn't get to her.
Oh my God.
That was the worst because I was like, how can you do that to your own child?
Power.
But yeah, I even had a child thrown at me. So
Oh
yeah, I've
my
had
God. Oh, I thought I
yeah,
heard it all on the show. That's something I never heard. And I never expected to hear. That's insane. Like somebody actually sacrifices their kid for the
they sacrificed their kid and threw him on me. Yeah, it was
wow,
awful.
that's insane.
It was
Oh
aw-
my God.
it was awesome, but it was awful at the same time.
I can only imagine. Like, oh my God. Imagine what that kid's probably going through therapy.
Oh man, the bad thing is the kid was screaming and hollering, and I had him in my arms because I was trying to tote him to her, and he was just wigging out. He looked like a worm on a fish hook, just trying to get away from me.
Oh my God. I remember I don't go to haunts that much anymore. I know I do want to promote them a lot this year, this
Yeah,
Halloween season, because they are I would say an underappreciated, a lot of people go to them, but they're not as talked about as, being in a horror movie or anything like
right,
that. But it still is
right.
acting, haunt acting.
It's
So
yes,
I
it's
I like to
happening.
promote that. And I would like to promote that this Halloween season, which is why I wanted to bring that up and why I reached out to you guys.
That's
And yeah,
awesome, brother.
I don't go to them that much because I am a scaredy cat. I love watching horror movies. I'll watch them any day, but I don't like being physically involved unless I'm on a set, like in a movie set. Um,
Right.
but I know that one time I was at was it a haunted forest, I want to say, and this guy in a Jason mask, and I was terrified of Jason growing up because I'm a big Jason fan. That was what got me into horror movies. And the
Yeah.
guy was in a Jason mask, and he had a chainsaw. And he got this close from my neck. Now, obviously, it didn't have the blade. I know that now, but at the time,
Right.
like 8 years old, I didn't know it.
Oh wow.
I was terrified. I thought I was gonna have my head chopped off.
That's awesome. And see, that's what people don't realize. You pay good money to get scared,
Yep.
and the more you can scare somebody, the better it is because people call me weird. I find being scared, like if you got your wife with you or your girlfriend, she gets scared. I think that's kind of romantic. You're there to be her shoulder and her
Yep.
protector, you know.
Yep.
So I always considered Halloween and haunt acting kind of romantic.
Nice. Yeah, I'm like that with my boyfriend because he hates horror movies and I force him
Yeah.
to go see horror movies in theaters with me and he doesn't like it because it gives him anxiety for like how many hours it is and I just love watching him like holding up and going to I think it's
Wow.
funny. I like it, and then
That-
I'm like, just watch. You're gonna. To me, it's an adrenaline rush. I love being
That's
scared
it.
in a movie theater, not in person at a haunted hayride or something, but in a movie theater where I feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I do have one last question for you. So the
Okay.
last one I do got is basically all about you. Do you have anything that you would like to promote? Anything at all? Projects? Any other haunts? Websites, social media accounts where people can find you? Anything at all?
Yeah, I would like to promote mental health awareness
Okay.
because I've had a lot of. That's another thing I forgot to bring up is the Creatures
Okay.
of Havoc does a lot of mental health awareness stuff because,
Hmm.
like you say, due to bullying and not just bullying, the people out there that's got emotional disorders and
Hmm.
suicidal and stuff like that, we try to reach out and help those and those charities and I would like to promote that and also I think it's called Rocky Top Mountain Coasters, which is where Gut Muncher, which is going to be one of your guests, works
Yep.
at. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
called it, and Sweet Dreams main haunted attraction in Mobile, Alabama,
Okay.
and that's where
Nice.
our friend that's in our group, Raven, is at.
Okay, yeah, I originally had Gut Muncher on, I believe it was Thursday, but he asked if we could postpone it to next week. So we
Right,
already came up with the day. I think it's next Tuesday now. I have him on.
right, right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any social media you would like to promote or anything else?
Yeah, if you're on and you want to look up Obsolete or Giselle Entity, you just type in Obsolete Entity and there I'll pop up, or you type in Giselle Entity and she'll pop up.
Awesome.
Type in Creatures of Havoc and you'll find out who all the members of the Havoc is.
Mhm.
We're also on TikTok, so follow us on TikTok.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Well, thank you, Obsolete, for joining me. I really had a good time, and it was nice to learn about this because I honestly thought, and that's where it goes to show where I love doing my show because I learned things that I didn't expect. Because I
Right.
thought Creatures of Havoc was going to be a horror group, but instead it's something
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, it's totally
And
different.
that's what I like about this podcast, because I get to learn new things about my guests. I get to meet interesting, creative people, and we get to promote amazing things, whether it's the arts and entertainment, activist groups, all those different type of things, and I love
Yeah.
promoting that. And I thank you for taking your time today or tonight to join me and spread awareness for Creatures of Havoc.
Oh yeah, brother. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, absolutely, and I definitely look forward to it, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Definitely, brother. I'm here
Awesome,
anytime.
awesome. You have a great rest of your night.
You too, brother.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.